Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantasy Theory. If you haven't saw it, today on June 3rd, 2024, we got the trailer for Venom 3, Venom: The Last Dance, which was rumored and leaked that we would get the trailer on this day, so we have a lot to break down from this trailer. It was actually pretty long, the trailer, going over 3 minutes, so I was pretty surprised because the leak did say it was around 2 minutes and like 27 seconds, I believe. However, there's a lot to break down, a lot of things, a lot of theories. We're also going to talk about potential spoilers, so if you don't really want a spoiler one, I would click off. However, the spoilers are from 3C Films, who talked about the leaked plot synopsis, so I'm going to see if certain scenes kind of connect with that leaked synopsis. Before we start, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's get right into this. Let me know if you're excited for Venom. I personally am really excited for the Venom movies. I really like this version of Venom. I know not a lot of people are actually fond of this version of Venom. They don't really like the comedic tone of these movies, which I'm actually surprised because up until now, I thought a lot of people loved the Venom movies, but I come from a lot of people that actually do like the movies, so maybe I'm just in my own kind of bubble and didn't really realize what's going on around me. But let me know if you're a fan of these Venom movies, if you're a fan of this Venom interpretation with Tom Hardy, because again, I really am, and I'm very sad to see this potentially be the literal last dance between Venom and Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy. First, before we start, I want to say Lethal Protector, and that's all I want to say right there. Let's get into this. So this movie did take elements from the Madam Web movie, but they were eventually canned, these elements, and maybe put into the Venom movie, is what people were talking about over on X and YouTube. We last saw Eddie and Venom in the after credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. As we know, in their after credit scene of Venom Let There Be Carnage, we saw Eddie and Venom being teleported to what we thought was the MCU. I say why we thought it was the MCU because this trailer kind of points to it not being it, but it could very well be it. It's so confusing. It's Sony. Of course, they did not do much with this after credit scene because, again, in Spider-Man No Way Home, we saw Venom being teleported out of that bar, and he wasn't even featured in the film at all. He wasn't one of the main antagonists like in the Sinister Six. We have like a Sinister Five. Great movie, by the way, I have to say. Spider-Man No Way Home. I have to shout it out every time I talk about it. They were eventually teleported back to what I assume was their world, but I could really be wrong about that. We did see at the end a small piece of Venom's symbiote being left in what we thought was the MCU, which was, again, we all thought was a tease for Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man to eventually get the Venom symbiote. So we have a leaked synopsis, like I said, from 3C Films that pretty much talked about Venom kidnapping a 10-year-old Peter Parker. I want to talk about it very quickly. The third installment in the Venom franchise from Sony Spider-Verse, centering on the popular anti-hero in the upcoming action film, the alien symbiote Venom learns through his multiversal hive mind that Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, is destined to kill him and his human host, the journalist Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy. So Venom persuades Eddie to hunt down Peter in their own universe to change the future, a task which is complicated by the fact that at this point, Peter is just a 10-year-old. But after locating the child and kidnapping him before ultimately killing him, Eddie begins to have second thoughts, especially after Venom exposes the young Peter to normal spiders, and after a severe allergic reaction, Eddie needs to take Peter to the hospital pretending to be his father. I do feel like there is a chance we see this potential young Peter Parker with some stills we see in the movie, but I could also see them not going with this at all, which I know not a lot of people were happy about this leaked synopsis. They didn't really want to see this. I personally, again, I feel like I'm in a minority for these Venom movies. I could have been okay with this, but let's continue on. The Venom trailer starts with them looking like how they are in Mexico with the cartel, who eventually puts a knife to Eddie's face until he reveals that he is Venom in, well, just a hilarious way. Which makes me question how serious or comedic will the film be, because it feels like this is it for these two. You know, it being the last dance. I didn't think of it, but this really could be, again, the last time we see Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, Venom. But we'll talk about this a little later on in the trailer at kind of my ending thoughts. There are shown to be other symbiotes in the trailer that Toxin will most likely sabotage, and we'll see the creation of a Scream female symbiote who will take control of Patricia Robinson, as well as branch off into a group called the Life Foundation, who will feature Agony, Lasher, Riot, Paige, and Scream. Yes, Toxin will be the main antagonist, as he was teased in Venom Let There Be Carnage as the next symbiote up. We saw him take over Detective Peter Mulligan, as the trailer also showed him in isolation. It looks like the general maybe was able to capture him but we'll talk about the general a little later on. We see Miss Chen, who is looking very classy. It looks like Eddie Brock is going to some event, maybe in Vegas, it looks to be, with all the slot machines. And of course, we see, a potential last dance with Venom and Miss Chen. So picking up from the bar in the after credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home, it seems, with the same bartender in that after credit scene looking at the symbiote. However, we can see he is in the exact same clothes, and his hair looks a little bit more disheveled and crazy, maybe being stressed over watching this thing for however long time has passed. But he does receive help from Mordo. Wait. No. I mean General Orwell Taylor, who is a military general who does not like Eddie and will do anything to protect his world. And I also hear from Chris from 3C Films that General Orwell wants to rid the world of symbiotes because his son was a security guard killed by Carnage in the Let There Be Carnage movie. I even believe that somebody was credited to be a security guard killed, so this could be the potential son of the General Orwell. The bar I will mention does look a little different from the MCU bar, so it is a bit confusing if you compare the two scenes, but the background does look a tiny bit different. I'm not sure if this means times past or if this is just different but similar universes. It makes me wonder though if this is the same world as the MCU 616, as they got the same actor who plays Mordo in Doctor Strange as the Doctor Strange villain as the General. So it really is confusing at this point. But that's not as confusing as it could be because, of course, there's more later on in the trailer that makes it a little more confusing because it is Sony. Could we possibly be seeing another universe that they're actually transported to, and maybe this is what they saw was a variant of Tom Holland, or is this just a huge fat retcon? There is a new love interest in the movie that seems to be Scream, who was played by Juno Temple. A group called the Jury looks to be behind General Orwell, but that's what people are speculating. They are from the comics, and they are just a group of military officers in armor who are just hunting down Venom, and maybe could perhaps take the symbiotes that we see earlier in the trailer. That could be the Life Foundation. But like, what the hell is going on in the film? Because now we see Ryan Ifans as a hippie looking guy who people realize this is actually the same actor who played the Lizard in The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. So again, what the hell is going on, Sony? Retcons, same actors playing different characters, all this is going on. I mean, it could go deep and mean something maybe deeper, but it's Sony. Do we really expect Sony to really have thought this out and made this like a lot deeper than what we could actually think? I don't know. Sony does surprise me sometimes, but I don't know. Maybe this is me just speculating too much. We see a family which looks innocent but could actually be the young 10-year-old Peter Parker's family that the leaks suggest, with an Aunt May and another character. So again, the leaks could be right, or this could just be a small part of Peter Parker, or it could just not be Peter Parker at all. This family is seen in that shot looking to be in the car with Eddie, but who knows. We also see creatures from Venom's world who seem to be invading the world as well, because we see Venom take on one of those creatures on like a falling plane, and he is not too excited about that because, as we know, Venom called himself a loser on this world. So maybe he's not too excited to be seeing things from his world come to this world and kind of, like bully him. The trailer has a lot of great moments, but it ends with what looks like being the end of Venom and Eddie, when Venom says to Eddie, the time has come, and Eddie's looking all like defeated and all that. It actually ends again with the venomized horse that goes really fast, but I wanted to talk about the sad note being that I feel like that ends the trailer on a better note, and if they're actually going to go through with this being the last time we see Eddie Brock as Tom Hardy, it should have ended with that. We also see the poster that came out at the end that says, "Till death do they part." So people were wondering, where the hell is the Null tease? I mean, everybody wants to see Null, the symbiote god. I don't know if they're going to actually do it. I mean, it's about it being, kind of the end, or what they're rumored to be the end of Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, which I really don't believe, because as I'm making this video, I'm starting to think like Secret Wars is a couple years out. Like we want to see Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock as Venom. So I don't know. People again are wanting to see Null. Where is Null? It's kind of too late to tease him in these Venom movies. Like possibly could be teased in this last Venom movie and go on to other spin-offs of symbiotes or the symbiotes in the MCU or the symbiote that was found by General Orwell. I don't know. But anyway, I am so excited for this movie. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of comedy, a little bit of sad, a little bit of drama, a little bit of everything. I just hope it's a great way to end this because I really do like the first two, Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage. Venom The Last Dance. I've grown to love these two characters. I've always liked the Venom character. I liked him in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, but I feel like this Venom is just so much better. The comedic tone of it makes me laugh every time. But you let me know what you think of this trailer. Are you excited for this? Do you think the leaked synopsis will be correct? Leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have an incredible day.